Patreon's platform is basically tanking. They're banning all kinds of users left and right, and people, they're just not okay with this. So let's get into this. Let's figure out what exactly is going on and why are they banning people to begin with. Now, we all know back in July of last year, Lauren Southern, she was actually the first one to be banned off of Patreon. So I believe this is what started this whole entire domino effect. This ban wasn't without consequence, but there's actually something very interesting that I found, and it was that the CEO Jack Conte made a response regarding the Lauren Southern ban on Patreon. In the response video, Jack explains that Lauren's actions could have had a loss of life. So in the ambiguity of the guidelines, he actually had to change the terms of service, or felt needed to change the terms of service. Come early spring this year, and we saw the quartering, and then we also saw Faith Goldy, they were banned as well. So unfortunately, the situation that happened with the quartering is he was accused of doxing on Twitter. Now, what happened with Faith Goldy is she was accused of pretty much having a bad, unagreeable 12-word sentence. After these three channels were done, I thought that Patreon was done with their purge, but boy, did they surprise me. And as of the most recent, there's actually been more people that have been banned within the last 5 days. That being Milo Yiannopoulos, right when he made a Patreon, he was actually banned right after. It's like he made his account and then poof, all of a sudden it goes away. Then immediately after that, James Alsop, he also gets his account banned. And on top of that, Sargon of Akkad, he ended up getting his account banned for something that wasn't actually to do with being on the platform for Patreon, but for something that happened on another creator's channel. The Patreon trust and safety team, they kind of feel like it's a need to screen everybody on other social platforms. For example, what happened with Sargon of Akkad, I mean, that was basically what he said on another channel, not even on Patreon. So, I mean, he's free to say what he wants on another platform where their community guidelines allow that and their terms of service allow that. It's not one social media's job to just kind of monitor everybody on that platform for what they do on every individual site on all of internet's existence altogether. That's wrong. Whether or not Patreon is actually targeting their creators based on a political standpoint, I mean, that's still up for grabs, but you can't just go pointing fingers without any sort of evidence or any sort of proof that this is actually happening. So before we know exactly what's going on, we kind of just have to leave that in the air and move forward. There is a whole nother entire Patreon alternative that is Subscribestar, and a lot of people, they're jumping to that right now and they're leaving Patreon because of it tanking completely. I mean, what do you do? So people are leaving because people are getting banned, and I actually joined too. I was gonna join Patreon a little bit ago, and I'm really lucky that I didn't end up doing that. Something was telling me, something in my heart, deep down. I know a lot of other people were getting banned before, and I heard of that before all of this really happened. So, I mean, I think that's the whole entire reason why I never really went through with it. But now with Subscribestar, it just makes it a lot easier, knowing that, you're not going to be kicked off right after all that hard work. Pretty much, I'm going to have this all set up at the end of the week, and we're going to really get this going. If Patreon really has to have their trust and safety team just start screening random creators to make sure that they're behaving properly, then, they should make it very clear in the terms of service that they're doing that. Personally, I think that a media platform should only be worried about what's posted onto their own platform. They should be worried about what a creator is posting here and there and, everywhere else on all of the online existence. I want to thank everyone that listened to what I had to say about this matter. Hopefully, it's the last time that I have to talk about Patreon, but in this case, I don't really think that's going to happen. Well, that's actually all I have to say for this video, but go check out my other videos. There's a lot going on, and I'm going to have another video tomorrow, so I'll see you then.